Hi guys, can everyone hear me? So this is a very interesting moment for me because this is my third time speaking at DevFest in a row. And I told myself that after this, I'm just probably not going to speak again. But I also said this is going to be my best session yet. So a little sneak peek. Today we're going to hack a game. And we're going to do it live. How many of you played the DevFest Lagos game? How many of you won? Well, today I'm going to show you how to beat the system. But let's start from the beginning. Today we're going to be talking about Now You See Me, a day as a tester. And yes, I don't feel seen. My name is Oluwaseyi Ajadi, and I am a quality assurance and penetration tester. I like anime. I am a lover. I am a writer. And from time to time, I am an open source contributor. These are my social media handles. And then a fine boy right there. So the question today is, who is a tester? And to me, and generally just defined, a tester is the bridge between product imagination and product reality. It's the bridge between what the owner of the product imagines a product to be and what can actually be achieved. It's also the bridge between what the developer imagines the product to be and what the product is really. A tester tests, questions, and makes sure that the product can stand the test of not just time, but of the users. And today, I'm not just going to talk about being a tester, but I'm going to bring you to a journey, and you're going to be living a day in the life of a tester. So, before we begin, I will show you a part of me, and a part of me that lives by me day by day. The formula to quality. There are 3 steps to quality. The first step is know thyself. Know thyself, and you need not fear the result of 1,000 battles. And that's a very famous quote by Sun Tzu, Art of War. So first, know thyself. And we'll go in depth to this a bit later. Second, think. Think do, think scale, think maintain. Wisdom is in thinking ahead, crafting solutions for both the present needs and for future solutions. I'll be doing a bit of that today. And the last part, the fun part, break it. To move forward wisely, one must first understand all the ways that things can go wrong. Know thyself. And a picture I got online. So, we're going to play a game. And this is the part where I'm going to struggle with because all of us have headphones on. But I'm going to do something. So if you've ever recorded music before, you take like one ear of it away. So you take one ear, you place it firmly on one ear, and then the other one is. So are we good? Can everyone hear me? I want to hear you. Can you hear me? So I'm going to play a game today. I'm going to list an app to you. I'm going to show you an app, and you're going to tell me the features that you imagine in this app. So I want to see what you see. I want to see how you know your app. Know thyself. So, today we're going to create a user-friendly to-do list app that allows users to manage tasks efficiently, stay organized, and boost productivity. Just as a shout-out, just tell me, what features do you see in this app, just from reading this? 5 minutes. Just shout it out to me. Shout it. I can't hear you. You said? List tasks. Or more? Input field, okay? Calendar, reminder, checklist. I can't hear you. Delete button. Allow what? Allow progress. Check, progress bar. Edit button. So some of you are actually very good developers. Now, let me show you what I see. I see priority levels. If you're going to set a task, you set the priority levels of the task. I see reminders and notifications, and somebody said that here, so big round of applause to you. I see recurring tasks. Because if a task is supposed to happen more than once, I see the ability to set it to happen multiple times in a week. I see sorting and filtering according to maybe tags or according to days. I see collaboration. If I'm collaborating with a bunch of people and I want to see the task I'm working on, I see a possible feature for that. And finally, I see cross-device syncing. If I move to a new device, where do my tasks go to? Do I have to refill it into a new device, or do they move with me? Now, the next part of it. Think do. Think scale. Think. Let's play a game again. What do you see? Build a user-friendly app for managing personal finances, tracking expenses, and providing insight. Let's go, same drill. What do you see? Income, wallet, expenses. You just repeated what's on the screen, but it's fine. Is there? Transactions, savings, loan. This guy. I fed Jack with you. It's all right. What else? What else? Let me hear it. Charts. I know they say talk to your money, but I didn't know it was that deep. Any others? Let me tell you what I see. I see multiple account support. I see budget alerts. I see multi-currency. I see financial analysis. I see integrations with banks, because how am I going to know when you get debited? And I see input points. And by input points, I mean, how do you know what the person spent something on? How do I force the person to put what he spent his money on? That's what I call input points. Now, the last part, just break it. We're going to play some games. And that was the fastest slide ever. We're almost basically done. But what you have experienced are two things. You have experienced seeing a solution, and you have experienced thinking about it. And you've seen how to think about it from a basic view and how to think about it on a deeper level. Now, you know yourself. Or more correctly, you know your app. You've seen how to think about it on a different scale than the basic user. Now, we're going to look at how to break it. The person that gets the most answers in this point, next year I owe them a death first ticket on me. Let's go. The first question, how can you break it? An e-commerce website offers a loyalty discount of 20% for users who have placed more than 5 orders in the past month. How could this system be exploited to get the discount without meeting the order requirement? Shoot. That's the catch. I have to hear you. If somebody hears your answer and calls it, your point is for that person, so you actually have to talk out loud. You said? And that's somebody. A round of applause for our first winner for today. I know you didn't hear him, but what he said was, what if you place your order, cancel it, place your order, cancel it, place your order, cancel it? Technically, you have placed the order. So it does count as an order placed. Hence, you get your 20% without spending money. Solution 1. Place multiple orders for pay on delivery and, abandon the rider. Your reward might be in heaven, but, you bypass the system. Solution 2. Like you said, place multiple orders, then cancel them. Immediately, they have been counted as an order. Second question. An online exam system locks users out for 24 hours if they fail an exam 3 times in a row. What ways could be used to attempt the exam more than 3 times in a day without getting locked out? Let's go. So he has 1 point. You have to be loud. You still have to log in. Once you log in, I know it's you. So incognito doesn't work. But I like the way you're thinking. He said what? Whoever shouts it first is the person me I will accept. What did you say? Change the time. Explain it. I'm not understanding your thought process. He said? I don't know which of you ever played old tower building games. All those games that used to wait long times for things to build or for things to wait. If you played it and you are saying, yeah, now, you are old. In fact, you might have been giving birth to your first child. But the concept of it was that if you didn't want to wait for a long time, you could technically change the time of your device. And the system would be tricked to think that the time had passed, whereas the time had not passed. He's still alive, he's still alive. Relax, relax. Is he? So, we have our second winner of the day. Next slide. Change the device time to reset the 24-hour lockout window if the system doesn't sync with an online clock, which basically means do the exam, shift your time back, do the exam, shift the time back, do the exam, shift the time back. Next slide. The one that most people wouldn't think about. Change your time zone location. Technically, it can be, one day could have passed here, but not have passed in the United States because we're 5 hours behind. Which means, if I moved it, if I moved my time zone to the United States, I technically haven't elapsed the 1 day, the 24 hours. Next. Attempt the exam on multiple devices at the same time. There's a very popular security vulnerability we call race conditions. There is a possibility that if you press a button at the same time on 3 different devices, because it happens at momentarily the same time, the system recognizes it as one attempt. Now, if it happens, it just means they're shitty developers, which they are. But there is a possibility. Now, next slide. Go back, actually. So, how many people won? We had 2 people, right? 1, 2. So we have a tiebreaker. But I hope you get the point of what we've been doing so far. It is to expand your mind to understand that how you see something is not necessarily how it's meant to go. Just because you think a user is going to do something doesn't mean the user will behave the way it's meant to. Now, so, for the final game, this is the most recent and interesting bug I've actually found. No, not the live demo is the most recent. But next slide. A ride-hailing service allows users to negotiate fares within a set upper and lower limit. When users enter a destination, the app uses an internet connection to retrieve the standard fare along with the maximum and minimum price range. What is a way users could attempt to bypass these fare limits to negotiate a lower price than intended? Given an example, if the lowest was you were supposed to bid, it's working now. Given an example, if the lowest you were meant to bid for a 2.5 is 2.3, I want to be able to bid for 1K. How do you bypass the system? He raised his hand first, but you had... Explain. Yes and no. The reason being, when you want to change your location in ride-hailing services, you need internet connection to find the new location. But you are on the cost. Literally. Yeah, this is the answer, and you're here. You're dancing with it. I need the exact steps. I need the test case. Read it very carefully. When the user enters a destination, that's where I stop. No, because the fare price is calculated on the driver's device and not on your device. So, no. I'm going to give it to two more tries and then we call it a day. Shoot. And you go stay where you did now.
Sorry, excuse me. Excuse me,
Okay.
please. What if you use a fake GPS app?
You did try too hard, Oga.
Sir?
You did try too hard, my G. You did try too hard. The money where you go use pay for that Uber, you go
No,
use that.
you could still use the fake GPS app. It's still going to probably register for a lower range since it's still going to be.
Let me explain why that might not be true. If you use a fake GPS app, it means it will send you to a fake location, right? If you use a fake GPS app, it would send the driver to the GPS location, right? There's no way to send the driver to your location because it's using the fake GPS location. I saw
Hello.
somebody.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
Here. To your left.
my eyes can't spot you, so I'm actually.
Okay. What if your arrival location is closer to where you are?
You're the first person I can hear with a mic, less than the people that didn't use a mic.
I said, what if your arrival location is closer to where you set your arrival location closer to where you are? So, for example, I'm going to Ikeja shopping mall. Of course, Ikeja shopping mall is giving me 2005. And obviously, I need a 1,000. I need the app to give me 1,000. Then I set my arrival location to say 7 Up.
If I'm the Uber driver, that location that you set is where you stop. On God. You walk that walk. Say negotiate with the driver. They there. Tinubu era. One more try. Emmanuel, you were there. You were
Okay.
there. Read the question again. So everybody relax.
Hello.
Let's take the steps again. Know thyself. Read the question and there's a reason why every single word that is meant to be there is there.
Hello, sir. Hello.
I said, you go walk that street. For those of you that didn't hear him, he said, what if you're in a street and you said the beginning of the street instead of where you're supposed to go? Over you go walk. For fuel at 19, you walk. What we're looking for is a loophole. Hint, when a user enters a destination, the app uses internet connection to retrieve the standard fare along with the maximum and minimum price.
I was thinking after the user puts the destination and let's say for instance the person is going to Geneva and then the app calls like the minimum price range
He said,
and then
after the person puts in the destination,
yeah
just for a sec, what happens?
and then the app calls like the minimum price range. How about the user turning off his data before like it's
She's almost there. She's almost there.
Can I
She's
try?
there.
Can I try?
Yeah.
So, since the app sends only retrieves the standard fare when he enters it, it does not really account for, let's say, hold-ups on the road or something. Like whatever can happen, it's not doing it in real time. So, is it possible it retrieves like the minimum range immediately it gets the stuff, and it does not account for any other thing that goes on along the way. Okay.
What? Final hint. The problem is that the minute it gets the minimum wage, you cannot set below it.
Hello. Hello, sir.
I hear voices in
Sir.
my head, they talk to me.
I'm on your left. Yes, sir. What if the user, since the app uses an internet connection, what if the user taps almost a location closer to him, and then he now sets after he okay, the internet gets the minimum and maximum price range, and then he offs his data and sets a destination apart from the one the where he wants to go. Now sets it. You understand? Eh?
I understand, but it doesn't work because the minute you set a new destination, it will review the price for that
It's
destination.
review.
Final take. Final two takes. Yeah? Have time.
Because the location is on. So what if the user turns off the location to blind both the driver's app and yeah. So there will be no communication again.
There'll be no what?
No communication. Since you already have the minimum price range, it will just work with the minimum price range.
And the driver will come where? Next slide. We were there, but we weren't. And you know all those things when I tell you the answer to pain you. This is one of the scenarios. Next slide. How do you guys feel? You pick your pickup location, you search for your destination. Just before you click on your destination, you turn off your internet. The small space between when it fetches, because there is no internet connection, you're allowed to set whatever you want to set. And then as you have set it, you can restart your internet. And it continues that process from there. How do you guys feel? No. Did any of you? You don't agree? Should we prove it? Should we do a live test? Open your in-drive apps. Let's do it. Open your in-drive apps. Pick up a location. When you're about to select your destination location, search for it, but don't click on it just yet. And turn off your internet. When you turn off your internet, click on the destination location that came up. You would see that little box just shining there. Put in any price there and see if it works. If it doesn't work, catch me, Joey. Now, for the final part of my speech, we're going to hack a game. And for those of you that played the first game, the team that built it did so much work. You know, when I first saw the game and I went to go and look at the game, first thing that I saw was, I just called the team and I'm like, why are you guys stressing this much? Why so many security controls? And the first thing they told me was, it's built with you in mind. It's built so people like you cannot hack it. And so, this might actually be the first time, and this will be the first time I do a live demo. So, let's hack a game. Who remembers this? Who played this game? You say? I'm already here. I hacked it. Change to my screen, please. Bearing in mind, this took roughly a couple of weeks, so it took a lot of time to do. Please, a round of applause to the Defense Lagos team, actually. They did so much work, and not only did they do just so much work in functionality, the amount of security controls that they placed was fantastic in that short amount of time. So, like I said, who played the games? Who remembers what the game was about? You say? Shout, shout. Light patterns. I don't know about you, but if you pass level 5 in that game, you need to be checked. There's something wrong with you. So yeah, that first Lagos Light. Test your memory. This is going to be the tricky part. I don't know about you, but one of the most annoying things about the game was actually getting into the game. And getting your magic link and starting the game. But that there first hoodie was shining in my eyes, so I had to get it. But now, so who remembers? You start the game, a bunch of lights blink. What was pressed? What was next? Yellow. People smart for here. But you get the point of the game. You got to trace colors for the most part. And while you all got to level 5, at level 3, I just gave up. I'm not doing this again. But the first part of it, know thy enemy. For those of you that this is the first time you are seeing how to inspect elements, welcome to CSC 101. If your hair is longer than my Durak, please leave my class. If you are wearing a face cap, also leave my class. But this is inspect element, and this is a network tab. The basics of it is that you get to see all the API calls that are being made when you play the game. So if you start the game, for example, you see 2 calls. And this is so terrible. I'm going to try and increase it a bit. Can you see it? You see the first call called get sequence. And if you check the response, you get this. Blue, green, red, yellow, and a bunch of jumbled up stuff. So the first thing that came to my mind is, what is the jumbled up stuff? Who can guess? This gibberish over here. I kid you not, the closer I got to the screen, the less I saw. But all this text here, what do you think it is? Let me show you. Who remembers HTML? Remember class names in HTML? So if I copy this, and I come to the element, and I just look for it, it happens to be there. And what does it represent? A color. What color? Blue. Shocking. So I can guess that this represents the color and the class name for the color, right? So what's the next part? Decrypt sequence. And it gives me gibberish again. But what's interesting about this gibberish? I think I've seen it somewhere before. Have I? Have I seen it somewhere before? I have. I have seen it somewhere before. I've seen it here. What does that mean? It means I know that When it is loaded, it gives me the class names for the colors. And then just before it starts playing the sequence, it gives me the sequence to play. What does that translate to? Well, if you're me and you're jobless and you're tired of working for a job, you spend the next 6 days writing code, not 6 days, but like, you spend the next few days writing code to bypass it. Or, at the very least, I'm not like the rest of you. um, I get to level 4, I get to level 5, I get to level 6, and if I left it there for long enough, yeah, you know the rest of the story. But here's how interesting the DevFest Lagos team is. They didn't just stop there. They said that, and it's a code written in the back end, if the time used to get the answer is ridiculously impossible, reject it because the person cheated. So when I did this the first time, and it stops me at level 3, I went to go and fight battles. And the person that wrote the code told me, don't worry, we know what you did, just go back. And so I did the second one. If what you were scared of is inhuman speed, then I'll add a little bit of human to it. And so who can guess what I did? Oh no, that's still inhuman. If I could tell what colors were being chosen, rather than let the computer do it, let it just show me what to do, and I type it myself. Thank you for your time. My name is Oluwaseyi Ajadi, and that's the end of my session. At this point, can I have my slides again? We can have questions. I still have time, don't worry. Don't worry. Next slide. Next slide. Any questions? Fine boy, handles. Back to the previous slide. Yeah. So, any questions?
Challenges like this, so it's now the job of the tester to in-house to test it for errors like this, or
Yeah.
because anything that is made is not perfect, so there's always going to be glitches. So
Yes. It's my job as a tester to find those glitches. And now, if you tried this exact same thing on DevFest Lagos, it doesn't work anymore. We've added a little bit of a twist. What is it? You never know. Or find out. That's the job of a tester. To break things so that other people outside can break it. And so if you're like me, that rather than build things when you were younger, you'd rather break them for the fun of it. Well, maybe there's a career for testing in you. Bye, guys.